Postpartum hemorrhage is the single biggest killer of new mothers worldwide, killing a woman every 7 minutes of every day, year on year. In the UK, greater access to drugs and immediate medical care means the impacts are usually less severe, but even in the UK, nearly 1 in 3 women will experience excessive bleeding after birth and may need a blood transfusion or surgery as a result. Traditionally, PPH is treated with an injection of drugs to help the womb contract, but sometimes women don't respond to this and the only option is for a doctor or midwife to squeeze the uterus using their hand. PPHs can be very traumatic to new mothers who just want to be able to spend time with their new babies. Drugs can be very effective, but for some women they don't work, and in low-income settings the drugs may not be available. Then, manual compression of the uterus is needed. This is a very uncomfortable process for the woman and is also tiring for the health professionals, meaning it can't be sustained for long. The PPH Butterfly has been designed to do the same job, but it's smaller than your average hand or fist and requires less physical force by the clinician. This plastic device was developed at the University of Liverpool after extensive consultation with healthcare professionals and patient advisory groups. It's inserted into the birth canal and provides a platform against which the uterus can be squeezed to stop the bleeding. It's called the PPH Butterfly because of its folding wing design. It's designed to be smaller and more comfortable for women and can also help medical staff to identify and treat the source of the bleeding. Its surface allows blood to drain through, giving health professionals a better view of where the bleeding may be coming from. Most importantly, the woman is kept safe through the whole process.
My name's Kirsty Barker and I took part in the Butterfly study in 2018. So I was 9 days overdue, first baby, waters broke, went into hospital. I think it was about 8-9 hours labour. Gave birth to a healthy boy, thought everything was fine, was relieved that the labour was done, and then they said, oh, we need to manually compress your uterus, so I didn't really think anything of it. Found that to be very unpleasant, quite intrusive, it was painful, not what I wanted after just going through labour. And then an emergency button was pressed because they said they couldn't stop the bleeding, at which point a team of 8 or 9 people came in and said, okay, we've got this butterfly device, it's new, it's in research, it's within a pilot, would you be willing for us to try it out? You sign these forms. I was like, yeah, anything to help, you know. So they inserted it, I found it much less intrusive, it wasn't painful. In terms of pain relief, I hadn't had an epidural. I just had diamorphine, which I was told had sort of worn off by then. So I was just on gas and air. But it wasn't painful to me at all. And it worked, it stopped the bleeding. It was all a scary process having to go through with medical team coming in, alarms going off around you. It wasn't until we got home, my husband told me that in those moments he was actually crying. He had our newborn baby in his arms and he thought he was going to lose me. I'd lost over 2 litres of blood. I couldn't lift my head off the pillow. I felt myself sort of drifting in and out. So it was a very scary experience for both of us, and I'm just relieved that that butterfly device worked in the end for me. So my son is called Theodore Eli Barker. He was 6 last week, so this was 6 years ago that I'd gone through that. He's a healthy boy, he's very bright, he's very smart, very funny, yeah, and I'm very blessed. And I've had another little boy since, who's called Sebastian, who's just turned 4 last month.
Bimanual compression done effectively can be quite tiring for the operator. Using the butterfly device, this was minimised and you were able to apply adequate pressure to aim to cease the bleeding. In addition, the butterfly allowed a little bit more of a physical distance between the woman, which allowed greater control of the management of the PPH scenario.
We know that the butterfly has true potential to make a difference. In our latest clinical studies, clinicians told us they wanted it to be available for future use, for its help in both diagnosing the source and stopping the blood loss. and women like it too. All of those involved in the study said they were happy for the device to be used again. And we're now looking to move ahead to a full randomised trial to see whether improved outcomes for women can be achieved by adding the butterfly to standard management. Crucially, in low-resource settings where access to drugs or blood products may be limited, a device like the PPH Butterfly could be a real lifesaver. 70,000 women die from PPH each year, and many of these deaths could be avoided with a simple solution like this.